It is the 2011 Baker Sports High School Awareness Day here at Everbank Field. And right now we have one of the best coaches in the area, has been for some time in front of us, head coach Joey Wiles of the St. Augustine Yellow Jackets. Coach Wiles, how you doing?
Doing great. Good to be here.
Great to have you, Coach. And right off the bat, you got to be happy. Your juice has got to be flowing. Finally, after, 6-7 months, it's about time to strap on those helmets and get under the Friday night lights.
Yeah, we're real excited about being out for 2 days, but we have done a lot this summer. We've got all our offense and defense already in, so it's really just a continuation of the summer.
When you look at what happened last year, a terrific run, making it through 4 rounds of the playoffs, the record that you had during the regular season, you reflect on that, or is it time to forget about it and go to work on the next chapter?
As soon as the year's over, we're already preparing, and really right now we're looking 2 years down the road. You know, as far as depth-wise with all of our positions. But last year was special. We didn't think we were probably going to go as far, and then really. We lost a 1-point game to Tampa Jefferson, who I guess was the greatest offensive output team in the state of, in the history of high school football in our state, and we're just a point away from maybe wearing another ring. So that was disappointing, but we really don't use that kind of stuff to build on. We just kind of go each season. It is going to be a new year, and we don't use, we really don't use that as a motivation to.
Joey Wiles of St. Augustine here with us. Coach Wiles, I asked Bobby Rawlerson of Providence the same question. Now, he was the assistant last year when they lost to Trinity in triple overtime by a point. It's probably easier for you and your coaching staff to move on because you've been doing this year after year after year. But for those juniors last year that are now seniors, and likewise those sophomores that are now juniors, do you think they've put that game past them? Is that just something maybe they're saying to you so you don't harp on it? Or do you think that ultimately some of them do feel it is a bit of a motivating factor?
I know this, for our seniors, they talk about it, and they don't want it to end like that again. And we have had, I know our 2014 when they lost a game to Bulls in I think it was a semifinal game, and they walked off the field and said, we don't ever want to feel like that again. And they came back and went 15-0 the final that following year in 2005. Now, I'm not saying, we're going to do that by any stretch, but I am saying that, there are seniors that are going to, talk like that. And as a group, I think they do talk like that.
Give us a sense of what type of team you think this is going to turn into this year. Obviously, like you said, next chapter, who are the next set of guys?
Right. I love our team. We've got a great set of senior leaders, and our 2-day schedule right now. We'll go out and practice 2.5 hours. We'll come back, eat, put them to bed for an hour. Then we'll have a senior leadership meeting. That's about an hour and a half. When we're done there, then all the positions go and they watch film, and then we're back out on the field. And during those senior leadership meetings, those kids say a lot of things in that room that normally I would not hear, and it's all so positive. So I think that group, James Rentz is going to be a tremendous senior leader, Philip Worthington, Devon Williams, Timmy Verdell. We've got a lot of guys that I think that will control the team.
Joey Wiles of St. Augustine here with us. And Coach Wiles, just looking at the past decade of St. Augustine football, get a load of this for the listening audience out there. 02, 12-1. 03, 7-3, which I guess is a down year in St. Augustine. 04, 11-1. You mentioned 15-0 and 05 state championship games. You won 11 games, 13, 12, 12, and then again last year, 12-1. You just win in St. Augustine. That's what you guys do.
Well, really, we've been blessed to have. We have an outstanding group of coaches. I mean, it's almost an all-star staff. They are not only great football guys, really great football guys, but they're unbelievable with our kids. As I said in that leadership meeting, one of the things we had talked about was, what coaches build relationships with you guys. And every single kid in there went through and talked about his position coach, which is phenomenal. And, we say you're not going to win football games, and you're not going to get kids to play for you unless you build relationships. And, we've got that. Our coaching staff is outstanding. Our kids, they only know hard work. And, we've been blessed. Our administration will hire coaches to keep it going. So, we're in, I think, the golden years right now, and it's something that we want to, there's a lot of responsibility that our kids feel of trying to carry on what has, come before them.
Joey Wiles, head coach of the Yellow Jackets, is with us on 1010XL, part of our Baker Sports High School Awareness Day. When you look at that schedule, what pops out at you in terms? I know you want the guys to keep in mind that first when you go across the state line, but what are the things that pop at you on the first half of the schedule?
Well, we know we better be, pretty well conditioned, and we better be, ready to play when we go up to Carrollton, Georgia, because North Gwinnett, who's a school that's twice our size, they have been a top school for quite a few years up there. So we better be ready to play, going into that game. And then, we've got our rivals. We come back, we got Menendez and Nice right off the back. And then down, I think week 8, Bartram is sitting there, and Kevin Sullivan's done a nice job at Atlantic Coast, and I know Wolfson's improved. So, the Jacksonville schools will be tough, and so we really don't have, a lot of people on there that we feel like we can just kind of show up and win.
Joey Wiles here with us on 1010XL. Coach, we begin to wrap things up here with you. I was going to ask you about that, and forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't remember this, but St. Augustine, historically, do you play a lot of Duval County public schools? I mean, you play Wolfson this year. You mentioned Atlantic Coast, Englewood. You're playing a lot of Duval County public schools. Is that something new for you guys?
Yes, we have never played. We played Sandalwood back in the 90s, and I know we played Wolfson back in the 90s. And we played Bishop Kenny. They're private, but we played them. We played Bulls in the Kickoff Classic. So this really is new. And it's one of those in our district. It was nice when we were in the district of St. Johns County because it really created a lot of fan interest. And now with us and Bartram kind of moving toward Jacksonville, it's a little different for us. But it'll be interesting to get into Duval County and play a little bit.
What do you think about the state of high school sports, budget-wise? We already know that there's a fee that St. Johns County students will pay. That helps the participation fee. Where do you think we're headed? Are we in danger of losing more sports?
I don't think we're going to lose, I really don't think we're going to lose financially the footballs and baseballs and basketballs. And realistically, I think cutting out these minor, what people would call minor sports, I don't see them as minor because it's just as important for a golfer to be involved in a sport as it is a football player. Being honest with everybody out there, I think all that it's a political thing that was done. They're not going to save a ton of money not having golf or wrestling, buying singlets. I'm not buying that. I think it's a political thing that was done, in my opinion. And I'll tell you this, our superintendent, Joe Joyner, has done a phenomenal job seeing this coming down the road. We have not lost a teacher in St. Johns County. Now, financially, in a couple of years, I think we may struggle as I talk to him, but I think those counties out there that have foreseen and planned for the future like we have, I take my hat off to Joe Joyner, our superintendent.
Coach, you're always very accommodating to us on the post-game show. Every time we call you, you come on, and we certainly appreciate it. Can't wait to talk to you a lot more this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys are phenomenal. Our coaches were excited. They said they're going to run off the practice field, get in by 10:15. They love the show. One of our guys, Brian Braddock, Steve Harden, both those guys, they don't miss it. I do want to say Brian Braddock just had his first baby. He's our defensive coordinator, had his first baby, Jackson, I think 3 days ago. So I want to wish him and his wife Jenna the best, and thank you all so much for what you guys do for high school sports.
Thanks, Coach.